Who doesn't love a good night's sleep? I know it's the favourite part of my day, jumping into bed with a nice clean pillow, mattress and quilt. But the chances are if you're watching this video, you or maybe even your child suffers from asthma, allergies, eczema, rhinitis, incontinence, or maybe even insomnia. Maybe you've been ravaged by bedbugs, dust mites, mould spores, allergens or scabies. Well, today we're joined by David from Bedbug Wholesale, and we're going to find out about their range of bedding encasements. We're going to find out how they work, how they're made, how we install them, and how they can benefit you and your family. Hey, David.
Thanks, Jo.
Now, I'm a mum of 4, and I've got to say I've been doing a bit of research lately, and for such a simple range of products, there's actually quite a bit to know about this niche range of encasements.
There certainly is.
Let's dive straight in, Dave. What I want to know first is when you're talking about a pillow or a mattress or a quilt, what's the difference between a traditional protector and an encasement?
Jo, that is a really good question. So a protector for a mattress, pillow or quilt really has one purpose. Now that purpose is just to protect that item from being stained or soiled. An encasement on the other side of things has a different purpose. Now that's to completely seal an item from stopping anything getting in and anything getting out. Now the way that's done is using a textile that has a really fine pore size, and we also manufacture our products with a double stitched tightly enclosed seam so nothing can enter or exit through the stitching on the side of the product. Now things that you might be trying to stop getting in and out of those items could be bed bugs, dust mites, which is a common one, scabies, pet dander or allergens. Now, because the product's also made with, in most instances, most of our products are made with a waterproof membrane on them. They're also good for liquid spills or incontinence.
So a lot of people I know wake up with itchy eyes or a runny nose, or I've often woken up with really itchy eczema that I want to scratch off, or dermatitis. And I've presumed it's an allergy to dust mites. How would encasing your pillows or your quilt or your mattress in these niche encasements protect you against dust mites or bed bugs? Actually, is there a difference between the two?
Okay, so bed bugs and dust mites are actually really different things. We'll talk about bed bugs probably a little bit later. Dust mites are one of those things that everyone has. Doesn't matter how clean you are, you have dust mites. We can never get rid of them completely. The best we can do is actually just try and control them and reduce our exposure to the dust mites themselves. Now, what a lot of people aren't aware of, Jo, is that it's not actually the dust mite that most people are allergic to, it's actually their droppings that they leave behind. So any given dust mite is going to leave behind about 20 droppings in a day, and you will find that all through your mattress, your pillow and your quilt, where dust mites live, and there's a big build-up of them, you end up with hundreds and hundreds of dust mite droppings, and it's actually the chemical enzyme in those dust mite droppings from their digestive system that's used to break down the dust or the human skin that they're feeding on. That's actually what ends up getting airborne and sets off people's allergy symptoms.
Okay, well that's really gross. But what is it, so if they're everywhere, why are they living in our beds? What is it about the beds that's so attractive?
Now there's a few reasons for this. The first reason that dust mites love living in mattress, pillows and quilts is because they have pretty much an infinite food source. Now it doesn't matter how many times you've had a shower, how clean you are, your body's gonna shed skin as you sleep in your bed at night. The second reason that dust mites are going to live in our bedding is pretty much because it's almost impossible to vacuum the inside of a mattress or a pillow, or a quilt for that matter. So they're going to be undisturbed. There's no way of actually cleaning up after them. Now, most people aren't aware that dust mites actually need humidity to survive. So the more humid an environment is, the longer lifespan they're going to have. Now, what better place for the dust mites to find humidity? Any part of the bedroom that's going to be the most humid is going to be our bed. As we sleep in there, we increase the humidity, and that allows them to absorb that moisture through their legs, as I said, increasing their lifespan. So with those three things in mind, the infinite food source, their ability to be living in a humid environment, and the fact that they're going to be undisturbed, it's the perfect place for a dust mite party.
One hell of a party. So Dave, let's talk a little bit about bed bugs. I know most people are freaked out by bed bugs, including myself.
Yep.
But apparently they're a much bigger problem in Australia than we realise.
They are.
Will these encasements actually stop the bed bugs getting in or out?
Yeah, they absolutely will, Jo. A bed bug's physically much bigger than a dust mite, so there's actually no challenge in our product stopping bed bugs getting in or out of a mattress, a pillow or a quilt. Now, unless you've been lucky enough to be sharing a bed with bed bugs, Most people wouldn't even know a bed bug exists. They're actually a much bigger problem in Australia than most people would lead on. It's a little bit taboo, so we don't talk about it very often, but there's many, many people out there with this problem at the moment, trying to work out how they can get them out of their bedding and eradicate them from there.
Would I see them though? Would I know?
Yeah, you would definitely see them. I call them night ninjas. So it is likely that you could have them living in your mattress, in your ensemble base. They do only come out in the middle of the night. So it's not necessary to say you've got bed bugs living in your bed. You're going to see them.
So you might not even know?
You might not even know, that's correct.
Wow, so I need to really stop eating chocolate in the middle of the night, because I'm presuming they're attracted to crumbs, or what are they attracted to?
No, they're actually attracted to you, Jo. Bed bugs are carbon dioxide chasers, so they feed on blood, much like a mosquito.
Or a vampire.
Or a vampire. You will find bed bugs as well anywhere in your house. Wherever you go, they will follow you. If you go and sleep on a couch, they'll follow you to your couch, and then you'll end up with a problem with bed bugs in your couch.
Charming. So what is it about the bed that they're super attracted to?
Yeah, so they're really lazy creatures, and they like to be as close to their food source as they can. So being that you sleep in a bed, you're likely to find bed bugs around the lip of your mattress. You can find them inside an ensemble base or a bed frame. They will hide in the smallest of cracks and crevices. They are known to also live inside pillows, and not as often, but it can happen that they will be found inside a quilt. And if they're not on the bed, you will also find them once you've encased a bed. They can often end up inside a bedside table or somewhere else in close proximity to their food source.
Oh my goodness. So would I see them? Like, how big are they? What are we talking here?
If you are seeing them, then the chances are you do have a relatively sizable problem on your hands.
So I'd know?
Yes. I call them night ninjas because they are the quickest, fastest little guys that will race out in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep, bite you quickly, normally in a line or in a cluster. They're not like a mosquito that'll give you one bite. They'll give you a cluster of bites, and then they'll race away back to their hiding space. Occasionally, when you've got a few of them built up, you will end up with little stains or droplets of blood from where they've actually run away and left a mark.
Right. Okay. Gross. So if I put the encasement on, though, I'm safe?
Yeah. So our products are designed as a complete bed bug barrier, and they will stop any bed bugs getting in, any bed bugs getting out. What's inside a mattress that's in there will be sealed, they'll die. Yeah, there's no chance that you're going to have any bed bugs then living on the bed. And the reason for that is they won't live on a clean white surface with no cracks or crevices to burrow down in. They will go and look for somewhere else. If you haven't trapped them all inside, then off the bed somewhere, or they'll all, if you can get them all in, they'll all seal inside the mattress.
So if I can see a bed bug, how big is it in relation to a dust mite?
So a bed bug's much bigger than a dust mite. If a bed bug's around 1 to 5 millimetres as a guide, a dust mite is 200 to 300 microns. Now, for people that don't understand how big a micron is, the human hair is around about 100 microns. So it's 3 times the width of a human hair, plus minus.
Impossible to see.
Impossible to see without the use of a pretty powerful microscope.
So what is it about the pore size of this product that's so important?
So the pore size is really important because it works as a filter material. A lot of people think that they're actually allergic to dust mites themselves, which in most cases is not the case. Dust mites, being 200 to 300 microns, are much bigger than the pore size of our products, and they leave behind droppings wherever they go. So for each dust mite you have in your bedding, it's going to leave behind the best part of 20 droppings each day. Now these droppings are all glued together with these stomach enzymes that they use. It's a chemical enzyme they use to break down the dust as they feed on it. And when these droppings become airborne, it gets into our respiratory system, and that sets off all of our symptoms, be that for some people rhinitis, eczema, asthma, dermatitis, itchy eyes, runny nose. All those things can be set off just through those chemicals found in dust mite droppings.
So you mean every time, the dog jumps on the bed, or my son's getting overexcited with his Xbox machine, it's setting off?
It can be as simple as putting your head down on the pillow at night. The inrush of air brings all of those allergens through a standard cotton pillow protector or cotton pillow cover, and it's right next to your mouth and your nose. You breathe that straight in, and away you go.
All right, so now that I know all this, and I'm picturing myself going home to sleep on a pile of dust mite poop, do I need to go out and buy myself a whole new bed and bed setting and the kids' new beds?
Absolutely not required. Once you've encased a product, be that mattress, pillow, quilt, that item's as good as new. A lot of people race out and spend thousands of dollars on new bedding only to find that they've got the same problem 3 weeks down the track. if you are buying new bedding, it's a great place to start by encasing it from the beginning, and that will extend the life of that product. If you do have something that your concern's infested with bed bugs or full of dust mites, just by encasing it will remove that problem for you and save you a whole bunch of money at the same time.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about the specific fabric you guys are using in your product.
Okay, so we manufacture using two different types of textiles or fabrics. The first being a 100% cotton textile, and that is 100% Oekotex certified textile as well. What that means is it's been tested for 100 chemicals and substances that are known to be harmful, so you can be assured that none of that's...
So it's safe?
It's safe, 100% safe. For all the concerned mums and dads out there, that's the cotton that you want to be sleeping with. The other half of our products, they're made with a 90 GSM knitted jersey. Now that's a polyester blend, and it has a 0.2 millimetre thin TPU lining, and that's what gives it its waterproof functionality, and also gives it the ultrafine pore size, which is going to give you the best protection, and also it will give you a defined pore size for the life of the product. The pore size won't change.
So hang on, what's TPU?
Okay, so TPU is known as TPU, or thermoplastic polyurethane, and it's used in a lot of baby products and biomedical applications where a waterproof membrane is required. A lot of activewear as well. Most sports manufacturers are using TPU in their waterproof activewear.
So it's safe as well?
It's safe as well. So TPU is known, we call it an inert material, which means that it doesn't have any off-gassing. It has no harmful chemicals or substances in it, which a lot of people are also concerned about. It's an alternative to PVC. Now, 10 years ago, most of this style of product would be made out of PVC, which is harmful, it is toxic, and it's not the type of product you want to be sleeping with. So we use TPU because it is the best solution for keeping a fine pore size and also giving the product a waterproof functionality.
Right, so if the dog has a little accident in the bed, I'm covered.
Absolutely. What actually happens is the pore size of that product, it has a pore size small enough to stop water molecules travelling through the TPU membrane, but the pore size is big enough to allow perspiration or water vapour to move through the product, which gives it its breathability, but also allows it to be waterproof.
Right. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense because we do want it to last. How do we know the product we're getting adheres to those standards?
Okay, so all of our textile and fabrics go over to a third-party testing house in New York every 12 months. They go through multiple tests, and one of those tests is one for porosity. So we can guarantee that those products are the pore size advertised on our website and marketing material.
Oh, fantastic. Now, in my house, there are, I think, five different bed sizes. We've got queens, I've got a king, one child has a single, one child's got a king single. Do all of these products, your encasements, do you have it for all these types of beds?
Yeah, we cover all options except dog beds, which we've been asked about before. Something we might add to our product range.
My dog's on my European pillow, so
that's normally the case. So in our pillow covers, we have a standard, a king and a European size pillow encasement. In our mattress encasements, we have from cot size, so cot single, double, queen and king. And each of the mattress or ensemble base encasements come in two heights. So most people would have either a standard height mattress, which is quite thin, or one with a pillow top, or they'll be putting a pillow top on top of that one. So it is important when you're ordering, say, a queen size mattress, just to check which height it is. That's the only option you've got. And when we look at our quilts, we have the four sizes there: a single, a double, a queen and a king. Makes
sense. So you've got everything covered.
Everything's covered.
And I'm actually intrigued, if you don't sleep on your European pillow, do you still need to buy an encasement for that?
I would suggest that you do, because as you probably find, if you just took one of those pillows over near a sunny window, gave it a good beating, you'll probably find that...
same problems.
The same problems again.
Okay, well, I am intrigued to give this a go. What do you reckon?